Hello there, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle Ferré and I'm a 4th grade teacher in Maryland. Super casual video today, just warning you. Yes, I am sitting on the floor in front of my couch. Billy and I have been having electrical issues, so about a quarter of our house has been without electricity. We finally got that fixed, but I moved all of my filming equipment during that time, and I don't feel like moving it back. It is Friday afternoon after another week of online teaching, and I am exhausted, so I sat down and decided not to get up again. But I did want to share with you all some ideas for ending the school year virtually with your students. This has thrown all of us for a loop. This is a brand new experience, and really, you're gonna cut your grass right now? Okay, I don't feel like refilming this, so we're just gonna keep going, and I apologize for the grass cutting in the background. But like I was saying, so many teachers have no idea what to do now for the end of the school year, because typically we have these activities that we do class after class after class that we love, and now suddenly we're all stuck at home. So in today's video, I am going to give you 10 ideas of how you can end the school year with your students virtually. Now let me start by saying you by no means need to do every single one of these. In fact, please don't, because that's actually going to make it less memorable for your students. You're better off picking just 1, 2, maybe 3 if you're feeling fancy ideas and run with those. You don't need to do every little thing. It's actually more meaningful for your students if you do just 1 or 2 and go all out. Idea number 1 is a virtual memory book. The great thing is you can actually do this whether you're in the classroom or not. Virtual memory books are basically Google Slides where students add text and pictures in order to reflect on their year. Now, the virtual memory book that I really like is actually by the Thinker Builder. What I really like about this memory book is that there are directions throughout it for students on how to add pictures, how to add text, and I feel like it's just very detailed. Now, this can be shared through Google Classroom or whatever other e-learning platform you are using, and your students can work on it, and at the end you could even share them with other students so they could see. Now, if you want to purchase that exact same memory book, I will link it for you down below, or just go on to Teachers Pay Teachers, type in virtual memory book, and you will find a ton of them. Idea number 2 is to create a class video. What I mean by a class video is basically a compilation of images or videos from throughout the year set to some kind of music for your students to enjoy. I know that sounds overwhelming, but the great thing is there are so many great video editing software programs, whatever, out there that you can use that make it super easy for you. Obviously, because our school years have been cut short, you may not have a ton of images or videos. You can actually ask students and their parents to submit photos or videos of them at home, and you can include them in the video. One really easy way to do this is through a Google form. You can add a file upload section, and then students or parents can add images or videos, and they will all be dropped into a Google Drive folder for you. Now, if you are using a Mac, you can use iMovie, which is a free video editing software that comes standard on your computer. If you're using a PC, you can use Windows Movie Maker, but there's also a ton of options online. You can just Google it and find some. I will link some for you down below just in case you want them. Now, I have done this in the past with my 2nd graders. I used to always make them a video, and I would actually burn it to CDs and give them the CD or DVD, I guess, in order to take home and watch it. The great thing is, because everything is digital now, you can literally just share the video on Google Classroom or share it through an email to parents so that they can all watch it at the end of the year. Idea number 3 is student celebration days. Now, if your school year is ending soon, this might not work for you. However, I have to go until June 18th, so I still have several weeks to go. Basically, leading up to the last day of school, every student in your class would get a special day. Now, on this day, you could have their classmates give them compliments. A really easy way to do that is using Jamboard or using Padlet. You just share the link out with your students, and then they can all contribute to it. You also could have a virtual lunch bunch with that student and have them invite some friends. Those are always a ton of fun. You could be as creative as you want with this one, but it would give each of your students a day to really feel special and appreciated and recognized by not only you, but also their classmates. Idea number 4 is to do a digital escape room. Now there are a ton of these on TPT. Just search digital escape room. The great thing is they all require no prep. So it's super, super easy. I'm not going to share any specific ones because it really depends on the grade level you teach or the subject that you teach. But like I said, go on to Google Classroom, type in digital escape room. You will find a bunch of them. Some of them are themed to specific content areas. Some of them are just for the end of the year. So you can find whatever is going to fit your needs. Now, when I do digital escape rooms in my classroom, I always have my students work in small groups because the collaboration is what allows them to have more fun and not get frustrated. So you could actually have your students complete it in small groups through Google Classroom. You could either assign it to just certain students at a time, or you could even schedule a Google Meet or a Zoom with a small group of students and complete it kind of with them. That way you can offer any help or guide them along the way. Idea number 5 is virtual spirit days. Again, you can be as creative as you want with this one, but the general idea is that you would have a video conference with your class, whether that's through Google Meet or Zoom or Skype, and you would all dress up a certain way. So a couple of ideas for you. You could do a neon day where they wear any kind of neon colors. You could also do like a homeroom color day. This is especially fun if you coordinate with other teachers on your grade level. Each homeroom class could be assigned a specific color to wear. You could do a book character day where you and the students dress up as a book character. You could do career day where they dress up with whatever career they want to do when they're older. You could do a tie-dye day. Like literally the options are endless. And yes, you can even do a pajama day. Idea number 6 is a virtual class party. I don't know about you, but I love having a party with my class at the end of the school year. It's a great way just to celebrate the community that we have formed within our classroom, how hard my students have worked all year, and it's just a great way to celebrate everyone and everything at the end of the year. But obviously we cannot do that in person this year. So instead, you could jump on a video conference with your class in order to have a party. You could create a playlist and have music going in the background. You can even get a disco ball. I personally just bought one on Amazon. It was pretty cheap and my students absolutely love it. You can just add little small things in order to make it that much more fun, even though it's online. Now, one of my new favorite things to do with my students on Google Meet is actually to play games. And I have seen so many creative ideas over the internet of games that you can play. Some of my favorites are a scavenger hunt, which I have a vlog coming next week where I explain all how I do the scavenger hunt. You can do Pictionary, where you draw either on your screen or on a whiteboard and the students have to guess what you're drawing. You can play charades, where you're acting things out and they have to try to guess what it is. Almost any game that you would play in person, you can adapt in some way to be able to play online. Oh, hello. Hi. You're not allowed in the video. No, shh. No, stop, go away. And this is why I usually don't film on the floor. I have a special guest. Say hello to Zora. Hi, goodbye. No, goodbye. Idea number 7 is a virtual talent show. Now for this one, you would obviously have to let families know in advance so they have time to prepare, but basically each student would prepare some kind of a talent in order to showcase in a Google Meet or a Zoom meeting. If you're allowed to, you can even record it and then share it out with families. I'm sure a lot of them would appreciate that and it would be a very special video that they could hold on to. Idea number 8 is a virtual award ceremony. I also love having award ceremonies with my class at the end of the year. I typically give them each an award that matches their personality, but obviously we can't do that in person, so I'm just going to move it on to Google Meet. One option is to actually have your students vote on the students for each award. You could create a Google form, have them complete it, and then present the results through a virtual meeting. You could create a slideshow of all of the certificates. In the meeting, you can share your screen, go through them one by one, and then afterward, you could email them to parents, or if you use Google Classroom, you can actually assign things to specific students. So you could post each certificate and assign it just to that student. Idea number 9 is a virtual field trip. Personally, we were supposed to be going on a field trip in April and it got canceled, but the great thing is there are so many options for free virtual field trips online. I actually recently came across an article by We Are Teachers that outlined a ton of different virtual field trip options, so I will link that for you down below. Personally, I mentioned we were supposed to go on a field trip. That was going to be to Annapolis to go to the Maryland State House, but one of my team teachers actually found a virtual tour of the Maryland State House online, so we're gonna have our students complete that instead. And finally, idea number 10 is to mail your students a surprise. Now, you do want to check with your school or your district to make sure that this is allowed, but you can get as fancy with it as you want. It could be as simple as mailing your students a letter or a postcard, or if you have the ability to actually go and deliver it to their house while social distancing, you could totally do that. Now, when I have mailed my students letters while in quarantine, I have actually put my personal address on it because I want them to be able to write me back, but it is totally your call if you want to use your personal address or your school address. I've also seen teachers mailing out these flat teachers. It's basically like an animated picture of you or a Bitmoji that you print out and cut out, and students carry it around with them and take pictures. I think it would be great to send your students a flat teacher right before summer break so that they could carry you around all summer, take pictures, and their parents can send them to you. You also could mail them a summer reading challenge where you give them ideas of books to read, or like a summer activity challenge where you give them different things to try out during the summer. I feel like we all have been stuck inside for so long. We're starting to run out of ideas, so I'm sure families would appreciate that. I also have seen some teachers prepare little gift bags and leave it at school for the students to pick up. I know some schools are allowing students to come in and either get their materials or pick things up, and you could actually leave a gift bag for them at that time. I have not been able to go back into my classroom, so that's not an option for me. But again, you can look into even delivering it to their house if you're able to. All right, those are my ideas for ending the school year virtually with your students. I really hope this was helpful for you. I know these are very unprecedented times and we're all in the same boat. We're all navigating these new waters, but together we can come up with some great ideas and we can make this school year memorable for our students. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Leave a comment down below to let me know what you are going to try with your students at the end of this school year. Share it out with your teacher friends if they would find this helpful. And as always, thank you for watching. I love you all so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, and I'll catch you in the next one.